Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Fix it and forget it. Back in our studio with another simple and tasty crock-pot recipe is Amie Geyser. You should get paid by the letter for that name, Geyser. A lot of letters in there, right? Yep. And you're from Retro Kitchen, and I like this idea because you just like get the ingredients together and then fire away.
That's it.
How do we do it? What are we making today?
Today we're doing a fresh corn chowder. This is great this time of year. Everyone's getting excited for summer with corn, but it's not always the Florida corns are starting to come in, but it's still not totally seasonal. So you can actually use either fresh corn, which is awesome in the summer, or year-round you can just get a 1 pound bag of your frozen corn.
This works pretty good,
I think. It works great, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the more sweetness, obviously, with the sweet corn.
More sweetness and more pieces of cob.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. All right, so what we're gonna do, it's so easy. We're just going to dump everything in. So we have 1½ cups of diced or chopped tomatoes, 1½ inch cubes.
I like the way you kept those nice and white. She had to soak it in water with ice cubes, and what a great trick, because if you're trying to get ahead of your cooking schedule and you want to chop those ahead of time, they turn brown, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be gross.
Okay, that helps.
It'll taste fine and it just won't look as pretty.
But this is perfect the way you did it.
Yeah, it keeps them nice and white. And then we have 1 large onion that is chopped. We're gonna add that as well.
That's the hardest part of this job.
Chopping the onion.
That was it, makes you cry.
You only cry. And then, although if you chew gum while you're chopping it, supposedly that's supposed to help. I don't know.
I don't believe you.
Works.
I've tried every trick in the world. Goggles, that's what works.
Oh, there you go. And then we have 1 stalk of celery.
Okay.
We're gonna put that in. We're gonna have 1 tablespoon of butter or margarine. This is a healthier version, but you know, it's only 1 tablespoon, so I like to use butter.
How many people, I mean, this is gonna feed how many people?
Oh, it's a lot. You're gonna have, if you have 1 bowl per person, it's gonna be probably about, depending on your size of the bowl, 6 to 8 cups.
Okay, so you got 8 here, you got a tablespoon of butter. How much is that? 1/8 of a tablespoon per person.
Exactly.
Don't even talk
do
about
the good stuff. And then we have 2 tablespoons of your chicken bouillon granules.
Oh,
so
give it some deep flavor, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna just sprinkle that in.
What do you think of the comedian today?
Hilarious, he's great.
Okay, Christy had quite a ride over there, didn't he?
I love it. And then we have some fresh thyme. Mine actually weathered over perfectly through the winter because it's so nice and mild.
It's such a nice mild winter,
Yeah, but you can also use the dried thyme as well. You would just cut it in half and use 1/2 of a tablespoon.
I like thyme, but I hate taking it off the sticks. It's a pain in the butt, isn't it?
Well, you just kind of slide it right off.
Slide it right off, I know.
All right, and then we're going to do some fresh ground black pepper. This is the only spice in this soup, so it works great for children. It's not too spicy. We got a squeaky.
Did we put salt in it?
No, no salt, because there is salt in your bouillon, so you shouldn't you shouldn't need salt. You can taste it after it's done cooking and see if you need to add any more.
Crock-pots really intensify flavors and seasonings too, don't they?
Yes, definitely. And then I'm going to show you a little trick here for cutting your corn off the cob. And when you're cutting it off, the kernels fall everywhere.
I wondered what you were going to do with this.
Your bundt pan. You have always good to have a second use for a kitchen ingredient. It stays.
May I stop and applaud you?
And then you're just going to cut, and all of your kernels are just going to fall right in there. You may get a stray. That's
unbelievable.
Going to fall out, but for the most part, it's
See, at my house, the dogs love it when I do that because it slips off the cutting board, it goes on the floor, they pick it up, they run away with it. I got to chase them, start over, right?
Yeah, and then the other thing I want to show, a lot of people think they're done here when they're done cutting off, but if you see, there's lots of good stuff going on here. What you want to do is not miss it's called corn milk. So you're just going to take a butter knife, turn it on the opposite end, not the blade, and just slide it down, and you're going to get all of this wonderful, like the little tiny kernels and the juices.
That's pretty good. Good flavors, huh?
And that is going to really compound your flavor in your corn.
Makes it sweeter, too.
Makes it sweeter, yep. So you can do that. So then you would just want to dump that right into your pot.
So how much corn are we putting in this chowder?
We are doing 5 large ears of corn. I'm going to go ahead and add in, if you don't have enough, you just want to go with
That's the way you have to do it, because this is an hour show. If we did have to do all 5 ears of corn, it'd be tomorrow.
It'd be tomorrow. So we're going to do the frozen. And you can see it is beautifully yellow. They freeze it right upon taking it off the cob.
What do we got going over here?
So what you're going to do, you're going to cook this now for 6 hours on low, or you can do 3 hours on high, and let that go. Once your potatoes are nice and tender, then we're going to do this part. And this is where you take your milk. I have skim milk here to make the soup nice and healthy and light, but with having children in the house, we have a wide gamut of milks usually. So anything you have really is going to work.
2% is pretty good. It's in the middle, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you have your 6 tablespoons of flour. This, what we're going to do is kind of make a roux without actually having to cook it. Add this together, and then you want to whisk it and get it nice and mixed so it's completely combined.
See all those people out there waving at you? What are they doing? What does that mean?
Oh, wrap it up, wrap it up.
Ah.
So you're going to add this little at a time, and then if you watch it thicken up.
So you whip this back into it.
Whip that up, and then add it a little at a time, stir it into your pot, and you'll watch your chowder become a chowder.
Great.
And then
here's a nice finished one,
there's
too.
There's the finished one, yes.
Right here, check it out. Put it over here where they can see it. And I love your garnish because who doesn't love bacon, right?
Exactly. But you can add anything to your chowder. It works really well with chicken or shrimp.
See how nice that is? Look at it. It's nice and thick. Okay.
There we go.
What do you think of that?
We got our fresh cone chowder.
Very nice. And what's your blog?
My Retro Kitchen.
My Retro
Dedicated
Kitchen.
to creating happy bellies, one home-cooked meal at a time.
Perfect. I love it. Check it out. Christy.